Welcome to a super duper exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. We're having a very exciting amusement park discussion prior to. We might include everyone.
True.
On the panel today, Kevin Bastos is here.
Just today.
Shocker.
Justin Pinto also here on the panel. Oh, I thought you were going to add something.
No, I am going to add something. But
Yes.
I was waiting for the intros to be over.
Oh, the intros are now over.
I've had my glasses broken from
I'm
a
sorry.
student curse. I usually get curses this weekend. This is the weekend before the big Media One photography projects are coming in. So
boy.
students get out their voodoo dolls and send curses at my house. I had one sick child, and my glasses broke, so I'm using my old glasses, which don't work very well. They give me headaches.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like an ideal situation.
No, it's not. So the curse of children on Bastos successful.
When is this project over?
It's due tomorrow.
Okay.
So there could be more cursing still. I'm certain there will be a lot more cursing for the students who turn in their projects late.
If you're watching,
There you go.
Turn them in.
That's a double.
Hint. I
It's
get
a double
that's
there.
What we're doing here. And look what's going on with those sea otters.
Nothing.
Now there's one
Wait.
climbing quickly to get
There's
out of the
another
way.
thing. There were 4 people out there clapping and dancing and
like actual people.
yes. I came out in the studio. No one was here. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to start the show. There's like 4 people out here. This is fantastic. And then
we missed it.
usually the case.
Speaking of missing it, so this past weekend.
Can we talk about the last 4 weeks?
All right, the last 4 weeks, what's happened?
Lots.
Anybody have any idea other than the sea otters? We're gonna keep watching the sea otters for a little bit.
Some movies came out, some shows, and things. Pop culture happened. We'll probably ignore most of it.
Talk about things from 25 years ago instead.
So,
Inside Media Weekly 2 decades ago.
so the Joker movie. Let's start there because
That's pop culture that
Is relevant now.
over half of us have seen.
more than half have seen.
Correct.
Of course, Joker had some. There was a lot of concern going into the movie. There's extra security at some of these theaters and stuff like that, and then went on to have an incredibly big opening weekend, and very well in week 2, on pace, possibly to become very quickly the highest-grossing R-rated movie of all time. I believe both of you have seen it already,
True.
which I have not. But please, tell me how it was. Tell me.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was outstanding.
Wow. Okay.
Deeply disturbing.
Okay.
I turned to my wife afterward and I said, I don't want to own that. I don't want it to be in my house.
So a one view only kind of movie.
It's sort of like Schindler's List for me. It's a movie that I've seen. I know what's the heart of it. I don't want to watch it again. I thought it was excellent. I thought the performance was great. I thought it was brilliantly put together. I thought it was a wonderful back and forth commentary. At times I really empathized with him and what he went through and how he got there. And this may have been the first time it felt like, in a reality sense, a person could get to that level of the Joker. Like, the character's cartoonish and extreme and sort of a weirdo origin, but this was a real person getting that far. So it was good. How about you?
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know. It's not the kind of movie you want to watch more than once, probably, as Kevin said. But I think the interesting part is like, as him being a unreliable narrator as he can be, like, how much of it really was what it was. You know what I mean? Like, you can actually go down the rabbit hole and just be like, did that happen? Did it not happen? Because the big thing is, like, we don't have really an origin story, and he never really did. But there's lots of stories about it. Kind of like with Heath Ledger when he told the difference. You really got in that movie because he told a different story like 4 different times in the movie.
Right.
So that you kind of got that, well, he's just making stuff up as he goes kind of a thing. So I think this movie it gives you enough that if you, like, what you want to be true can be true, and if you don't want any of it to be true, it doesn't have to be. It kind of leaves you with kind of like, yeah, anything you want for the Joker could be this movie. But
I gotta be honest, I was a little concerned about Joaquin Phoenix going in. Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know, he's just one of those actors that I feel like, I know in one of your top 5 movies, Gladiator.
Not my top 5 movie.
I still remember watching Gladiator in the theater and coming out of the theater and going, what an incredible performance Joaquin Phoenix just did. And then going back and watching it the second time and go, what an over-the-top, whiny character that was. It was completely unnecessary. Actually, I feel that way about a lot of Ridley Scott films themselves. But and so I feel like over his career, and then of course he went into the whole trying to be Andy Kaufman phase where he was basically silent for a year and growing the big beard and glasses and stuff. So I'm trying to think what else. And Signs. There's just been a lot of films of his that I just feel like that he's a better actor in your mind than when you go back and watch it. So I'm curious to see. Obviously, he's the focal point of this film.
Yeah, I think with anything, the first time you watch it, you don't catch everything. And I mean, I read something that said like, well, get ready for like another 4 months of Joaquin Phoenix being the best actor on the planet with his performance in The Joker, and will he win the Academy Award and all, and can this be nominated for Best Picture and all that, so you're just gonna hear about how great it is, and then it kind of takes on like a life of its own. People are like, well, it's supposed to be like you sometimes say like the movie's not that good, but we like what's great? What do you mean you thought it was like The Shape of Water? Mm-hmm. It's a great movie, and you're always like, it's so terrible.
It is terrible.
But then the Academy would probably tell you how great it is.
I think it was a very good movie, and I think it will probably get nominated, and I think he will probably win.
I mean, he's really good.
I would be, if not win, how do I? Again, you never can tell what happens in the last 2 months coming up to something. Sure. Certainly, he's in the talk right now. I mean, the performance was brilliant, and certainly if Heath Ledger won, and again, homage for his death and everything, but I thought this was better than that in a lot of ways.
I mean, because it was. I was talking to the people I saw it with, and I thought, this is an R-rated comic book movie that's serious. Like Deadpool's an R-rated comic book movie, but it gets people to go because it's funny and it's got the crude humor, and as you get older, you're like, well, we just have to stop at PG-13 because we'll make more money and so on. But this is a serious, deep R-rated comic book movie that's making a ton of money and has tons of critical acclaim on top of that, which is just something that doesn't seem to go together, really.
Well, I think over the last couple of years, and I think we're transitioning over here to that next topic on the agenda that was sent out earlier that I looked at.
Yes.
I mean, those are like three things that don't happen very often. That I think there are comic book movies that are good. It's so harsh to say that overwhelming paintbrush, and I'm not sure how you're introducing the topic or whatever, but to say that comic book movies are dreck is a problem, because comic book movies are not dreck. Some are. Some are junk. Like, I keep going back. The Man-Thing is a powerfully awful film, and I sat through and watched that. It was terrible. Superman 4 is a bad movie. There's nothing redeeming about it at all. But Black Panther was pretty stinking great and nominated for an Academy Award. And there are levels everywhere and in between that. Superman 2, pretty good. Not an Academy Award winner, but I've also seen a lot of movies that were nominated and won that stink. I mean, Shape of Water, that's painfully bad.
Well,
it's
also
dumb. Yeah. No one's going to go back to that in 10 years and be like, oh, Shape of Water, that movie's so beautiful. That movie's freakish. It's strange.
I think part of it is some people just aren't into superheroes, and
great. Don't be into superheroes.
You don't have to like it. It's just it's not. I mean,
that's fine. Not a problem.
Some people really like the movie They Live, and I probably wouldn't say it's a great movie, but some people probably love it.
It's wonderful popcorn movie.
Yeah, I can watch it. It's enjoyable, but somebody probably thinks it's their favorite movie of all time. They'll tell you how great it is.
It may be the greatest fight scene ever made in a movie.
But yeah, this is just I was trying to think of it like we don't really have like a dark superhero and it's not even like a superhero movie. It's not even like a cave. It's much more of a story with comic book people in it than a comic book movie.
Right. That's the way I'd characterize it.
So any Robert Pattinson at the end? Does he show up? This is leading into
Are you asking that?
Oh man, I don't think it'll become it is still making unbelievable money. I can't believe how much money it's making. It already made more. Like the fact that it's made more money than Logan already, I find shocking. Because I figured Logan with Marvel, more people like Marvel.
Well, we got two charts we can look at here. So domestic grosses, of course, Joker's still a little low. It still amazes me that Passion of the Christ, with as successful as Deadpool was, still is the highest grossing R-rated movie domestically. and then you've got American Sniper and It, and Deadpool 2, which kind of has an asterisk on it because it got re-released as PG-13 version, which I think they added into the.
But they did. But it was only out for like 3 days.
Yeah.
It was
But
it was a super short run.
Yeah, but it made like $50 million or something like that. I thought I saw.
I don't remember.
Worldwide, the Once Upon a Deadpool, and then Matrix Reloaded, just.
It just had a big open.
Pathetic that is.
That had a big open.
The highest grossing of the Matrix movies.
Precipitously.
And of course you got the Hangover movies and the Beverly Hills Cop, which is fantastic to see in there.
Cop, but it hasn't aged.
I think the Joker could. I'd be surprised honestly if the Joker made $300 million. I know it's pacing to make $300 million.
Oh yeah.
And I mean like it still made what $30 million this weekend. So it should make 15. I mean it's made more money than Venom domestically, and Venom was out for 16 weeks and it's been out for 3. I mean it's had 3 weekends, and Venom had 16 weekends, and it already has more money than it. Than that movie, not It.
I know.
But yeah.
Then It.
I thought these movies.
And then you go worldwide. A Joker actually right now I believe is up to number 4.
Top 10, crikey.
But Ted's there at 10, so that's
sad.
50 Shades of Grey is 9 though,
commentary.
which
what a worse commentary on the life of us.
But as far as worldwide goes, you're looking at Deadpool 2, Matrix Reloaded, It, Passion of the Christ, Logan. Like I said, Joker is now. I think
I think Joker passed Logan.
Yeah.
I think it's only behind Venom on the comparison on Box Office Mojo.
So then this is going to lead to something, right? I mean, if this is going to be the highest grossing, even Deadpool, has got sequels,
I'd be shocked what they could do. Like, I mean, they could do something, but I hope not.
I hope they don't. I really hope they don't come back to it.
And his
5 years later, with
I hope they don't.
the Joker, the Mistress
I
of
hope
Evil,
they don't.
Maleficent, come back finally 5 years later.
That's a bomb out there, isn't it?
Not terrible, but it's not going to do great.
I want to see if
It's the top grossing film, but it just made nothing in comparison to its budget.
is Todd Phillips already directing something? Has he already announced
How about that?
untitled Hulk Hogan biopic?
Oh.
Apparently,
He's tackling all types of different things now.
that's on IMDb. That's announced. Sometimes that's kind of somebody puts it in there.
How about I was on IMDb? This is unrelated to everything. I don't think The Rock is in Fast and the Furious 9. He's not listed on his page at all.
He might be waiting for money.
I'm just saying. It just seemed like
I'm sure there's some negotiation.
Well, wasn't there like a big
going on
riff
there.
with him and Vin and stuff?
There's a
and
lot of rifts with everyone.
Hobbs and Shaw didn't make crazy money. Made really good money. But
But I think it's pretty impressive that just 15 years ago, Todd Phillips was directing Starsky and Hutch, and here he is
could win Best Director.
directing.
I watched Starsky and Hutch.
That movie was not good.
No.
Of course, right before that, he did Old School.
I was really hoping, and I kind of still hope that Disney inflated their number in Joker. Because Joker, when it first came out, they said $92 million, and then when the actual box office came out, it was like $96 million. Like, we found $4 more million. Surprise.
Just
We went up.
around.
I was really hoping Joker would go 3 weeks at number 1, and that would be the same amount of weeks at number 1 as Avengers Endgame,
Hey,
which would be unbelievable. But Uncle
It
Buck
might
had,
get back there.
Uncle Buck had 4 weeks.
wow.
That's incredible.
Well, if you look at that list of most weeks at number 1, there's only like in the top 40, or movies that did 4 weeks at number 1. There's only like 2 movies in the last 20 years. They're all from the 80s.
Yeah.
When there was like 13 movies at the box office. We only had, you know what I mean? And there was a new movie came out like once a week, maybe.
Right.
There wasn't just big movie dropped after
There was
drop after
junk
drop.
there.
Well, like what was it? Like E.T. was number 1 like 16 weekends or something, and
Oh, and it was out. In
it was
the
out for like
theater
a year
and a half.
Yeah, it was like crazy. I mean,
Oh.
those 80 movies were just.
It made them disgusting.
Well, don't forget Titanic too, didn't it? Did it not? Was it not number 1 or something at the beginning? I remember it was up and then it came down and then it went back
Titanic
up and it was number 1
had-
like for 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks or something.
I remember trying to get
late.
tickets for it like 5 or 6 weeks in, and you couldn't.
Titanic made like 17 million, like its 10th weekend. That's crazy. But it was like it never had a huge unbelievable. It just made like $18 million like every weekend. Like from weekend 6 to 12, it was like 18 million, 17 million, 17 million, 17 million.
Speaking of millions, just looking at this past weekend, of course, Joker held its own there at number 2. Maleficent was number 1, Mistress of Evil. However, it underperformed expectations. And Zombieland was huge over what they were expecting. I think it was almost double the gross of what they were expecting. Zombieland 2, double tap. We got Addams Family and Gemini Man still hanging around as well.
Yeah, I think Gemini Man is going to I heard reviews were awful on it. Just people
How can you
eviscerated
have
it.
twice as much Will Smith and be bad?
Listen, I thought it was a cool concept, but I heard the movie is terrible.
But isn't it also like with the way it was filmed? Like, there's only 3 theaters in the country that you can see it at. Like, it's like in 4K filmed or something. And most movie theaters don't have that. So
Yeah.
you can't even watch it. Like Ang Lee wanted you to. I'm not going to see it. I'm probably not going to go to the movies until Star Wars comes out. So
Wow, really?
I don't know what else am I going to see.
I don't know. There's usually something.
I can tell you something you're going to want to see. Yes, indeed. File this under the might be 10 years too late.
Yes, perhaps.
Okay, I got to ask, because we just had, Dora this year, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't understand. And this is Mattel, right? Owns Barney. And they're also doing a Hot Wheels movie and a Barbie movie, I believe. Right? Are all coming
But
out.
I think like kids at least still play with Hot Wheels. Like they,
Yeah,
they still exist.
It went away and came back.
I don't understand. I mean, obviously Barney had a lot of direct video at the time, right? When he was the biggest thing on the planet. But why did they not make a
If
feature
they do
film?
something the other side of it, then do you guys
Death to Smoochie.
something like that? But not. Did you guys ever watch the Banana Splits?
Oh yeah.
They did a movie for that recently. Did you know that? I swear. And it was like this.
They didn't change the song though, did they?
No. And the other side of it is it's like this murderous rampage Friday the 13th kind of a thing. Look that up. It's not. It is not classroom appropriate for. I was like, oh, that's really dark. I kind of want to watch that. It was one of those sci-fi movies, so. The Man Thing was a sci-fi movie.
When I imagine this as lazy executives just sitting around going, people were into nostalgia. What was popular 10 years ago?
10 years ago. It was
Well,
popular like
20
20
years
years
ago.
I was going to say maybe 30.
And the problem is you have the success of like a Transformers coming out of nowhere, and then
No,
I know.
Might be slightly different than Barney.
no, what I'm saying, but
Just
these
saying.
nostalgic things, they had.
I'll go see Transformers. I don't think I'm going to go see Barney.
You're not going to go see the Barney movie?
I don't think I have a single reason to.
You can actually still see the Barney show at Universal if you want.
They haven't redone that
What do
ride
you-
yet.
what do you
No,
mean?
it's not even a ride. It's just a show. I think I've been there 3 times, and I keep saying to the kids, "We haven't seen Barney yet, kids. You want to go?" No.
Yeah.
So I've never
I don't
seen
blame
it,
'em.
but no.
So who? Okay, so then I got to ask. I mean, who's the audience now at this point for this? So people who were kids at.
This has Goldfinch written all over it, whatever it is. You could have a $30 million budget
Yes.
for Barney and you make $2 million.
I just meant like you'd have to have people who were nostalgic for it. So people who grew up with it that have children. Like
Barney's a little bit
young for
young
you,
for
right?
me. Yeah, like I was like
So it's going to have to be people younger than you
30.
who have children. It can happen.
Yeah, it can for sure, but I just
But-
don't know. Like, what I just don't. I just don't think Barney is something you think back. Oh, I love Barney. We should go see the movie. Like, I just don't.
I miss Barney. Let's watch Barney again. Like the Teletubbies movie, is that coming next? Or
Didn't they have
Teletubbies is still on
movie?
TV though, isn't it? Isn't it still?
no,
on?
they've stopped filming like 10 years ago.
But I thought it was still like
I don't know
I mean, you
if
could
it's
probably get it
on,
on like on Amazon Prime. Or
TV
something.
or not anymore.
Can you get Barney
but
on Amazon Prime?
I don't know.
But Barney's such a divisive character. I was just thinking, like, go with Blue's Clues or something that just
Blue's
universally
Clues is coming back with
universally
TV?
I
loved,
was going to say
right?
Blue's Clues is coming back,
But
isn't
they're
it?
not doing
Television?
a movie.
No. They're doing TV. I think
A
there's
little bit
less
lower of a
risk.
budget. Yeah.
You sell your
depends.
advertising ahead of time.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, are you on Nickelodeon from the hours of like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.? You're going to sell your ads.
What was the name of that? Sprout. Remember that channel?
Sprout.
Sprout.
PBS, right? When they own it? PBS.
I was going to say
Sprout?
PBS might own it because I think Sprout shows are on PBS now.
I don't know. I just remember like, oh no. Like one of my children would put it on and be like, oh good, I can go somewhere else now.
Dinosaur Train.
What was that? Choo Choo Soul. My kids really like that.
Wait for the movie. It'll be out in 10 years.
Oh boy.
And then the Australian singers. What was their
The Wiggles.
Wiggles?
They're
They
still
never did-
around.
right? But they lost the guy,
they
right?
touring?
No, there's only one guy left from
okay.
the original 4.
But they've never done a movie either.
I don't
That we know of.
They've done
Not-
a lot of
I mean,
video.
direct
A lot
to
of
video,
video
maybe, I was going to say.
counts.
Like Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. They used to do those direct to video. Do those
did.
count as movies?
That's how they built their whole empire,
I
right?
saw an awful meme with them the other day. I was like, oh, that's true.
Was it mean? Oh,
It
okay.
was very mean.
Okay.
It was very harsh. Very.
Speaking of harsh, okay,
Oh boy.
27
I don't think I can-
hours.
I kind of want to do it.
Okay.
Of course you do.
In the
I don't
I
think
don't
I
think I
can.
can do this.
in
I don't think I can.
In the run up to Star Wars: The Rise of,
This is
of Skywalker, they're going to do a
15 years too early, or
27-hour marathon.
oh my goodness.
But it will allow you to see Rise of Skywalker 2 hours before everybody else. Apparently,
I can tweet it.
Ruined for everybody.
Right, dear world.
I seem to recall as we used to watch,
Chewbacca is Darth Vader's father.
as we used to have marathons of Star Wars when it was just 3 movies or 4 movies. It seemed like it was an eternity.
Even 6 got rough.
Now we're going 27 hours. I don't.
Well, they say that this 27 hours either leaves room for breaks or Solo and Rogue One to be included.
or the Ewok movies.
Caravan of Courage.
I'm betting no. I'm betting
The holiday special. How fantastic would that be if it was?
Jordan, put it in. Put the holiday special in this time.
the Clone Wars film.
Zero the Hut.
So that's going to be coming to an AMC theater near you. Oh, well, actually, only selected theaters. But in addition to that, of course,
They give you like a blanket. Like, what are they trying to tell me? Like, I'm gonna want to take a nap.
Yeah.
27 hours. It's tough for me to do
20.
27. I don't know if I can stay
Take a
awake for
4-hour nap between 1 and 2.
episode 1. Okay, wake me up in a little bit.
Wake up.
well, that's the thing.
Lightsaber battle. Okay.
Did they say what order they're running them in? I don't think it's been announced, right? If they're doing chronological or release order.
Maybe you can choose. Maybe you'll vote when you get there.
That would be pretty.
How many of you
fantastic.
want to go in release order?
Imagine the war that would break out over that. So I know we're shooting this show today, which is Monday, whatever day it is, October 21st. Well, tonight, it's going to be too late by the time you view this show, but the big reveal of the final Rise of Skywalker trailer is going on Monday Night Football tonight. Then they'll, I'm sure, release it online. And then also ticket sales.
Like
are
10
gonna-
seconds later.
So, so it's funny that they're still choosing to do the, television reveal of the trailer.
Because they got paid.
Oh, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Doesn't ESPN and
Yes.
ESPN and Disney?
That's like
Yes.
two people in the same room
It's like the-
exchanging money between themselves.
It's not, I was gonna say there's not even. I don't think they're paying each other. I think it's just trying to get viewers eyeballs on Monday Night Football so their ratings jump.
Yeah.
So they can say, "Well, look at our ratings."
Speaking of ratings jump, Bastos asked for this to be added
did.
into the.
Did you watch this?
Should I
I
even
did.
show the trailer?
What do you think?
It's a little bit much. I don't know if I would show it. It's a little
How
violent.
about we go with?
No, it's not. No, it's. But what did you think of the trailer?
How about this? How about a story on it?
It was good.
I liked
I thought it was
it.
really. I mean, it's tough to tell on the screen, like how good is that special effects and what it is, but I think they do a really nice job of like. I don't know how to say staying true to Bloodsport because like it's going to be.
It's going to be
movied up a little
cinematized.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cinematized.
So please
but it
tell
was
me the
good.
history of Bloodshot. What is?
Multiple histories.
Okay.
I mean, really, it's a guy who's been reincarnated as sort of like an android, but he's got these
Nano bots.
nanotechnology that repair him. So he's pretty much unkillable, and they keep reprogramming him with new memories to be his ultimate soldier for this group.
Okay. And the trailer did a pretty good job of.
Self-aware of it, of the fact that he may or may not have a history, and he's trying to figure out what is real history and what isn't real.
Jason Bourne? Is that what's going on?
Kind of, but it's. I mean, Jason
If
Bourne.
Jason Bourne was half android,
Right, and don't forget, it's also
Right.
like this was originally made in like 1988.
Sure.
So it's been around for forever and a day.
well, with some hiatuses in there.
Long, but it was passed along, restarted, and rebooted. But this is it was purchased by an Asian company, the whole rights to it, and they've made this movie through Sony. And I thought it was going to look cheap, and what I saw didn't look
That looks
cheap.
pretty.
I thought it looked good.
Good.
So I thought it was a good idea to get Vin Diesel onto it. Now, whether or not it's going to make money,
And was
whether
that
or
Guy
not people
Pearce
will
too?
like
that was
it,
in that?
But the guy Pierce, yeah, the Memento guy.
In the trailer. So
that's to be seen. But I thought that looked promising because they actually made some sort of cheapo movie based on a whole bunch of characters which looked like Drek. When I saw that, I was like, oh, forget it, they're done. But this looked good. So kind of excited.
So look
I
for
will be there.
Bloodshot to be coming to a
Coming
theater,
in box office at number 4.
theater near you. So a couple quick stories. We only got a few minutes left. I don't know if you've been following the big battle. So the feud about Marvel movies. Martin Scorsese came out and he said Marvel movies, or he just was talking about comic book movies, superhero movies, are not cinema. And then Francis Ford Coppola came out and said he's being nice. They're just despicable films. And so now you have people like James Gunn who are coming out and saying, wait a minute, and defending so there's a big feud amongst. It's funny because Scorsese, Coppola used to be the new guard and were the upshots and and now they're the old cranky guys that are like, this isn't film. We are doing this film. How do you feel about this feud that's going on?
I couldn't tell you the last movie I saw by
Coppola?
Yeah.
I mean, these are guys who are done. I mean, no offense to... I respect them. They've done great movies, but some are dreck and some are great, and some are fun and some are not. Like anything else. I mean, every movie released in 1974 wasn't good either. I saw some garbage released in the last 35 years, too. Every comic book movie's not great, but some of them are. I mean, that's the places where, and again, we're taking advantage of cinema. Cinema isn't just about a great story. Cinema is about the experience of it now. And I mean, popcorn movies have a place, whether or not we're ever going to get that on the Academy or not. Who cares?
Ooh, the best picture. That's not the best picture. The people like.
Oh yeah,
People's
remember
Choice.
that? Yeah, the
Yes.
People's Choice Awards and the Academy Awards. Let's do this, and everyone's like, we can't do
let's
that.
not. No, let's not.
All right.
No.
Well, my one sentence response to all this is there is no more industry if you don't have these popcorn movies propping up this. So Scorsese and Coppola can't make the films they want to make unless you have these tentpoles that are coming out. And I think we can all blame Spielberg and Lucas for
Sure.
really ushering that, which you're part of that. They're part of that group, that old guard group that kind of said, hey, we can make hundreds of millions of dollars on films if you just kind of make them entertaining for people.
Entertaining and good.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of entertaining and good, we have like 2 minutes left.
What?
2 minutes. Disney Plus. This may be the most insane marketing thing I've ever seen.
they got suspended by Twitter, didn't they?
So on Twitter,
They were tweeting too much. They froze their account or something.
they tweeted every single film that's going to be on Disney
Yes.
Plus. It was like a 200 some, and it's just the shot of it. And then on top of that, they released a 3.5 hour video that had a clip from every single movie and show that is going to be on the Disney Plus at release.
Seems like a lot of work.
Those interns are working hard. They put a couple kids to
All right, here's what I need you to do. You're not getting paid, and you're probably not going to have a job here next summer. But we need I need a clip from everything. Don't come out till you're done. Go.
This weekend we have Black and Blue, which we just watched the trailers for all three of these, and Black and Blue looks pretty incredible. Naomi Harris and Tyrese Gibson are in it as a cop who gets shot by other cops, and she has the world against her. Countdown, which is a terrible looking horror movie, and The Current War, which I'm very excited about. That's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's just a lot of commercials for the current war.
Return to
That is the-
Joker.
Joker's gonna be back at number one?
$15 million. It could be number one.
All right,
expect
and
President
next
not
week
far 20.
we got Terminator coming, so
That'll be-
and Motherless Brooklyn, which is getting tremendous reviews. The Ed Norton film, so we'll have to check to see. And Arctic Dogs is coming out, not Snow Dogs. It's Arctic Dogs.
Don't get confused.
We'll check and see what the charts say next week on Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, we used to.